Welcome to BCP Live. It is good to get to see you all again. Okay, I don't get to see you, but you get to see me for a little bit, and I get to hear you if you comment. So please take time and say hi. It's been a little while since we've been on the air live. And so since that time, I've actually accomplished something. We'll talk about me here in just a moment. I'd rather talk about my guest right now. Daniel Kim is with us tonight and new to the area. So, Daniel, first off, I want to say thank you very much for coming on the show, and I appreciate you being here with us tonight. I want to talk about what you're doing and what you mean to Durant as a whole and Bryan County, as a matter of fact, and what you can do to be a benefit for folks. But tell me a little bit about yourself, and man, we're just glad to have you on.
Hey, thank you for having me on today. Uh, I am a Korean American, born and raised in California, but the last 7 years I've been over in this area. 2 years in Kansas City for my med school, and then my last 2 years in med school, I actually spent it in Durant, right before the pandemic. And then I did my pediatric training over in Tulsa, and afterwards we decided that we really liked Durant and came back here. I am a husband and a father of a 5-month-old. We'll get some sleep one day. And I mean, that's really what brought me here.
Well, that is really cool. Now, Kansas City is close to the heart of the folks here on my end. Mrs. Patriot is from Warrensburg, and so she spent a lot of time growing up around the Kansas City area. We get back there whenever we can. But you talk about Durant and that you wanted to come back here. Talk about a little bit about why you would come back to Durant to do some more work here.
So, I mean, you would think someone from California, big city boy, wouldn't really find any refuge in a smaller city. But I really liked it here. The community is very welcoming. It's a nice and quiet town. The noise of the city sometimes just gets to you. But if I ever want the city, it's not that far away. Dallas is an hour away. Oklahoma City's 2 hours away. So we still have the option of having the city experience if we want it. In addition, my wife is over from Fort Worth, so this is kind of nice in between where she can still see family, but be nearby as well.
Yeah, that's not that far away at all. Now, you work for Texoma Pediatrics, and first off, it's a business that's been around Durant and Bryan County for a number of years. Recently, remodeled. Well, didn't just remodel. I mean, a whole brand new building. Now, I actually lived on Live Oak when that building was started, and just pretty much as it was built all the way through. I always thought it was a great looking building, perfect location there on Bryan Drive, so folks can see you from the highway. And I mean, it's easily accessible to get there. What do you do at Texoma Pediatrics?
So, I mean, absolutely right. We have a new building over in Texoma Pediatrics. You can see it right on the highway. I'm a pediatrician over there. Just started this year. I see kids between the ages of 0 months all the way to 17 years of age. I do well visits, sick visits, any sort of concerns you have that may be a medical or school concern, definitely feel free to reach out to me. I am fully pediatric trained, and so anything peds concern, I can either help you or help you find help for it if I can't help you with it.
That is really pretty cool. And what are you seeing people coming in? I mean, it's just with the new location. Does everyone pretty much know where you are right now?
I think that given the fact that it's only been about a couple weeks since I've started over here, it's starting to pick up. Some people have heard about me, but we're over in our clinic now that the school year started. We're starting to see a lot more sick kids. So there's quite a few viruses running around. So definitely make sure your kids clean their hands and practice good hygiene.
That should, and we talk about that. I would think it was something I heard a lot growing up. Now, granted, I was a child in the 70s. It's no secret how old I am on the show. We've talked, it's well documented, but that was one of those things I heard a lot growing up, and yet I keep hearing it a lot more. So I think that you're right. I think that's something we definitely need to hear. Well, I know you got a fan. So if you can see that on your screen right there, you do have a fan. So a good job, Dr. Kim. Glad you're on the program tonight. And by the way, he's not the only one. Dr. Similescu is not the only one that can comment. Let us know from where you're watching tonight. I would appreciate that. You're talking about Durant and being here and coming back to this area. And I, again, think that's really something that is cool. I think it's special for people to have been here for a long time. And there are some people in Bryan County that, can say they've been here 40, 50, 60 years. I think it's also pretty neat when someone has been here, goes away, and then comes back. So that, Dr. Kim, is something I appreciate from you and what you've said tonight. What do you bring? What do you bring to this community? What do you hope that you can do for Bryan County and this community?
So one of my main interests being a pediatrician is preventative care. I think that one of the things that us pediatricians really have a role in and have the foot in is the fact that we see our kids over in our community uh, at a very continuous basis where we can talk to them about different things such as developmental concerns, motor concerns, psychological concerns, or even school concerns. We are also there to help catch any sort of early childhood diseases such as diabetes, obesity, hypertension, or high blood pressure. Uh, and I feel like as a pediatrician, I really feel like my role is to help the community increase their own health knowledge so that they can take charge of their own health and know which direction to take it.
Let me ask that really quickly too. Some of the things you mentioned there about pediatric care, I would never have thought about in kids, that, especially the ones that you were talking about. Some of the age ranges right there, diabetes, especially high blood pressure. Is that something that is seen often in kids that are young like that?
Yes, we do see high blood pressure in our kids, especially with obesity becoming a bigger issue in our country. We see more and more of that. But there's also some other congenital disorders that can cause high blood pressure, which is why we check that every time you come in.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that you do that then. That is really pretty cool. It's not, like I said, that's not something I would have thought of at all. So I appreciate that you're checking on those things. Let us know really quickly. And by the way, I appreciate your time tonight. I don't want to take up too much of it here on this Thursday it's a Tuesday night. It's been a long week already, Dr. Kim. It seems like it's already Thursday. It's a Tuesday night. Tell us where we find Texoma Pediatrics. We mentioned it was on Bryan Drive. How do they find you, and how can they contact you?
So you can find me at the hospital sometimes as I'm working in the nursery. So if you're delivering over at Alliance Health Durant, I may be the pediatrician on call. Otherwise, you'll find me in the clinic. You can find us on texomapediatrics.com. There's also a Facebook group. You can call us, schedule an appointment with either me or any of the two pediatricians who are on, and we'd be happy to see you guys.
All right. Well, that's neat. There's a Facebook group too. And one thing I'm sure that you'll see, Dr. Kim, is that Bryan County is a very Facebook heavy place. So there's definitely a lot of social media traffic that you can find on Facebook here in Bryan County. People are not afraid to get on and make their opinions known and just talk for a little while too. Dr. Daniel Kim, thank you so much for taking time with us tonight. We really appreciate that. And I'm thankful you're my first guest back here in this 23-24 school year. So thank you for coming on with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I'm going to let Dr. Kim go here on this Tuesday night, not Thursday night, and go from there and get back to what he's doing really quickly. And not a long show tonight. However, I do want to let you know we do have guests lined up for the next couple of weeks. So please be sure and tune in. Now, I mentioned at the outset that I'd actually accomplished something, so I'm going to tell you really quickly what I accomplished. I think there we go. Feeling a little off center there. Actually, so we've talked about her, as my granddaughter would say, actually. It's close. It's a lot cuter when she says it too. So, that's one of those things. But just last year around this time, I was telling you we're going to pursue the Masters. It's going to take a little while, and it's just something I feel like that God has for me to get to do. And doors have opened, and everything's kind of going the right way. And we're going to try to do this 2-year program in 1 year and do all the online stuff like that. And so last year around this time, I was about a week in and trying to get things going, trying to make stuff happen, and just get it all done, get the Masters done. It's done. So if you haven't seen on Facebook, and there were so many nice congratulatory posts on Facebook, I was so thankful for people saying hi and congratulations. So the Masters is done, and not just walked across the stage, because we had commencement on July 28th, but the way my summer classes fell, I still had 2 weeks worth of classes to take after I'd walked across the stage, which was a surreal feeling. And I have to tell you that the motivation level kind of goes down just a little bit after you've walked and you've still got class to do, but we got it all done, and I'm excited about that. And I have to tell you, at this point in time, I am relieved to have gotten that done. So the excitement, the celebration, and now it's a relief to get it done. So one more thing done in life, but I mean, it was fun. And so I'm glad. By the way, shout out to Southeastern. Very good master's program. I learned a lot over the course of the last 12 months. It's been something, and I appreciate, and the instructors that I had. And I would give a shout out to all of them, all the instructors that I had, and some business classes even during the end. So anyway, that is what is going on in the Patriot household. And, we're starting back tonight. Again, not a long show tonight, but starting back tonight, I have an idea that in the next few months, we're going to need to talk. So I'm going to be here to get to talk to you. I want to get to be here and share with you, get to visit with you all, get to have really cool guests on, as we are going to have on. And I'm always, and you guys know me, if you've watched this show for a long time, I'm hesitant to mention the name of a guest for the next week, just in case something happens and we don't get to have him or her on the program. But I will tell you that all things being equal, it's going to be a fun show next week. So you need to tune in for that. The Masters is already in the books, and I'm teaching some classes at Southeastern now. So how about that? We'll talk a little bit more about that. Got the first 2 classes out of the way in the last 2 days. I have great students. I'm looking forward to getting to work with them, and maybe someday I'll get to work with either you or one of your kids at Southeastern. So keep that in mind. That is another part of what's going on here. So yeah, I think it's a cool way to get to be a part of the community. This is neat. It's been a long time since I've taught in the classroom. I think it was 2017, 2018 was the last time I was in a teaching setting, and that was at Durant High School. So here we are 5 years later, and we're back at it again. So it's good. God opens up the doors at the right times. Everything's going to be cool. Thank you for watching tonight. If you are watching this live, I really appreciate that. And if you are watching the recorded version and you're still watching, you're a trooper. And I really appreciate that. I want to remind you what I always remind you, and that is this: 3 things. Number 1, be wise. Be wise. There is a lot going on right now in the world around us, and we just need wisdom to know how to deal with it all. So I encourage you. Number 1, be wise. Number 2, walk in love. It's the best way to do anything anyway. So why not walk in love? And number 3, and this is big. We've said this from the beginning. Number 3, do not walk in fear. Don't do it. I dare you. I double dare you. I double dog dare you to not walk in fear. Just don't do it. Okay. With all the things going on around us, don't walk in fear. You can have respect for a situation without being fearful of that situation. So I want to encourage you in those 3 things tonight. Thanks to Dr. Daniel Kim for being on the program with me tonight. God bless you all so much. Thank you for watching, and we will talk again next Tuesday night. So have a great